Wait for the people to come on. Hey, y'all. It's impromptu message. Y'all know my impromptus pop up at any time. At any time when it's impromptu, right? It pops up at any time when I have an impromptu message. Hey, Mama. Hey, boo. I'm sitting in my workspace today, and like I say, it pops up when it's so impromptu. I have to pop up, but I do have a couple of little notes because I want to make sure, as it was coming to me, I want to make sure that I'm able to give it to you guys, properly. Hey, boo. So yes, this is, again, I did not do an announcement post because here lately, my messages are for whomever is supposed to pop on here, whomever is for. That's who it's for. So that's why I did not do an announcement post telling you guys that I'm going to be going live at a certain time. Again, this is for those who are led here, right? So I am going to shoot out a couple little invites though, and you guys can also send out, forward these messages as well. I'm in my workspace today, y'all. So I'm just shooting out a few, and we're going to jump right to this impromptu message. Very impromptu, right? On the spot. Again, guys, I am in my workspace. If you see me looking around, looking here and there and to and fro, just people that's also in the same workspace. So, all right, we're gonna just I'm gonna just hop on the thing, and those who want to pop on and see it later, that's okay. Again, share, guys. Share the video. You guys read the caption, right? You guys read what this is pretty much about. And this word came to me because I know there are many people who are not moving because they are afraid of what people will say, what people think. First of all, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Kimberly Nicole Johnson. I am a published author, a motivational speaker, a life enrichment coach, a mentor, and entrepreneur. I am also the author of How to Move Forward After Experiencing Some of Life's Difficult Moments. You can click the link in this broadcast, and that will lead you to that very free. It's a free guide. It will lead you to that. So with that being said, I wanted to talk about today very briefly. I'm not gonna hold you guys long, and I do have notes, guys. I wanted to talk about pleasing him or pleasing them, right? Last night, I had a phone call with a young lady. She's a young widow. And if you're watching this, I am not going to say your name. Just know that. But I had a conversation last night with this young widow. Her and I connect. We have a mutual friend. She lives in Chicago. And she reached out to me a few months back and said, Kimberly, is it okay if I introduce you to this lady? Her husband just transitioned in March. She's a young widow, and I'm watching you. I follow you, your brand, and can you help her? I said, absolutely, right? So we had a conversation last night, and we were talking about a lot of things. But one of the things she told me is that it'll be a year for her next month. One of the things that she shared with me is that every day for her is it's a task every day for her to just get up and just literally put one foot out of the bed, right? And I know that very, very well, right? I know that. And we talked about, she's asked God so many times, God, why am I here? What is it? Why would you allow this? These were her words. Why would you allow my husband to be taken when you knew that we had these plans, when you knew that we had these things, right? And I know that conversation very well. And for those of you who knew Devin and I, I'm sure some of you had that same question as well. Like, why would he not be in this world, right? So, um, we were having a conversation. She was saying that she's asked God, why am I still here? I want to know, right? So we were talking. I was sharing some things with her, and I told her again, I've had that very same question, and God quickly showed me early on what my purpose is. He showed me early on who I am, who He has assigned to me to serve through my story, through my journey, right? So I shared with her that, we cannot hide, we cannot heal what we hide, and whatever we have experienced is a part of our purpose. It's all a part of our purpose. It's a part of our story. It's a part of why we're here, right? So we were talking, and we were talking about some things, and she started to reveal. So as I was talking with her, I started to hear her speaking about her knowing what her purpose is, her knowing what she's supposed to do with what she's been through. She was saying it herself. So I asked her a question. I asked her, why haven't she started moving in that? She said to me, because I know that I have something I'm supposed to do, but I'm afraid. She said, I'm not going to lie, I'm still in bondage to the people. I'm still connected to what people are going to say about my story. I don't want people to know my full story about what happened with my husband, because there are people who looked at us and thought that we were one way, right? Thought that we were one way, but now they're looking at us. So if I tell my story, they are going to know that it wasn't what they thought. Hey, Shanice, congratulations on that beautiful baby. That they are not going to, that my story will seem, that they will begin to say, oh, wait a minute. And then she said, and then I realized that I will lose friends, right? So she's talking, and she was saying that, her story, like their story is not what a lot of people, because she's married to him for 9 years. I mean, they've been together for 9 years. They were married for 3, and there was a certain type of image that they have put out to the world, that now when she shares this real raw story, people are gonna be like, oh, I don't wanna, right? So this is what I told her. I shared with her some things, and Devin and I always lived our truth. We always lived like what you saw was what it was, right? What you saw, hey Trey, what you saw, hey Carmela, what you saw, when you saw us, that's, you saw us. And for those of y'all who know us, y'all know it was no faking the funk over here with us, right? So this is what I shared with her. Number one, so I said to her, and for anybody that is sitting in that very thing, for someone who was sitting in, God, I know what I'm supposed to do. God, I know what you've told me. I hope y'all can hear me, because now it's getting loud. Wasn't even loud a second ago. Now it's getting loud. Anyway, for any of you guys who are sitting in where you know that God has clearly made it so crystal clear what you are supposed to do. You know that you know it, right? And hey, Mark. Yes. For any of you guys who are sitting in, right? But watch this. But you are afraid of what people will think and say when they hear the real story. This is for you. This message is for anyone who wants to move, but they're afraid because of the people that they are in bondage to. This message is for you. This is for people who have not moved forward in their assignment because they're sitting in fear of what the people would think and what the people are going to say. This word is for you. Okay? This is for you. Number one, and I encourage y'all to take a couple of little notes. I'm going to drop some little gems on y'all, right? Just 3 quick little tips. The very first one I told her was that she has got to get clear on her assignment. She got to get real clear on that. And once you get clear on that, once you know that this is what God has told me to do, you'll be released from the people. Because like for me, I was a very private, and I'm still private. I was a very private person. There was no way in the world that I would have ever thought that I would be the person sitting here sharing the things that I share with the world. There's no way you could have told me, 3 years ago that I would have been like, I ain't who. I'm gonna get ready to tell y'all my little business. No, right? So I told her, so one, she had to get very, very clear on her assignment and your passion, right? Because your passion is more urgent than what people think. Your passion, your assignment is way more urgent than what somebody else thinks. Watch this. People will always have an opinion about what you're doing or not. For example, sometime last year, someone that I'm really close with had told me that they had asked them. They said, I see Kim on social media. I see her, doing this and doing that. I thought she was grieving. I thought that she was missing her husband. Why she doing this? Why she over there? Why she on the thing up here? Why she traveling? Why she? I thought she don't ever wear black. Why she doing all this stuff, right? This is what I simply said to him. I said, listen, I said, if I just showed all of the heartache, if I just showed y'all all of the that comes with this, right? If I just showed only that, guess what people would be saying? Why don't she go write a book? Why don't she go talk to people? Why don't she go share her story? Why don't she go live her life, right? Then when you show, smiles and trusting God in your faith walk, then they want to say, why don't you go sit down? Why don't you go sit down somewhere? Why don't you go on somewhere and sit down, right? So my point is this. We cannot be worried about what the people are going to say because the people who are saying the things that about what you're doing will not do it, can't do it, have not been called to do it. See, whatever God has given you is for you. So the people, it's not for them to understand, right? So again, it goes back to, are you going to please the people or are you going to please Him, right? I'm gonna read some. Okay, yeah, because it's people in my family. Come on, Shanice, that don't truly agree or support with my business. It hurts, but I have to keep going. It's embarrassing to say, but it's the truth. No shame, because guess what? You are absolutely. Come on, because watch this. People first of all, you're an entrepreneur. That's a whole nother life in itself. Okay, because which means that you are absolutely walking a complete and a complete faith walk. See, everybody who say they have faith, is it blind faith? See, being an entrepreneur, when it's just you and God, and you don't have no stash over here, no stash over there, and it's just you and God, and you know that you are operating and walking in what God has you doing. You got to get real clear. You got to get real clear. And you know what it does? It does hurt when the people that we think are supposed to be supportive for us don't support us. But I want to help you with something. I was watching a live one day back in July, and I was frustrated because I felt like the people who are supposed to, well, I'm not going to say supposed, but my family, my sisters, my friends, sometimes I feel like they don't get it, or they're tired of hearing about my story, my brand, my right? So it was the 4th of July. I was sitting in my car and this lady did a live on Instagram and she said, let me free somebody today. She said, many of you are out here frustrated at your family, at your husband, at your wife, at your mom, your kids, because they are not supporting what you're doing. Supporting don't necessarily mean always buying something. It means supporting it, sharing it, telling somebody else, connecting. It means showing up at events. It means pouring into, encouraging. All of that is a part of being supportive. She said, let me tell y'all something. She said, she was speaking directly to me. She said, let me tell y'all something. She said, have you ever thought that maybe what you have that you have not been called to serve that set of people? And when she said that I got it. Because sometimes we will want certain people to be as excited about what we have going on as we are people who are in our tribe, our circle, right? You better keep posting it. Come on. Anyway, right? I don't even mean that, right, exactly. But Shanice, I wanna. This just came to me for you. Pay attention to the distractions that's coming. Pay attention to these things that come to distract you, to get you off of what you already know you've been assigned to do. Pay attention to the naysayers, right? Pay attention, and I'm gonna throw a real strong word out here and rebuke all the nonsense, okay? Because again, like I said, what she had me get clear with is that may not be called to serve them just because they are family or husbands or wives or whatever. Does not mean that we are called to serve them. Therefore, they would not get it. What I've had to get clear with is there are a set people waiting for me. And guess what? It may not be a lot of my friends, because a lot of my friends have not been through what I've walked in. So therefore, they will not get it. They will not understand. They will not see it from the lens that I see it from, because I'm not called to them. I'm only called to the people. Hold on. Eating the cough drop. I'm only called to the people. I'm going to tell you who I'm called to. I'm called to people who have dealt with a very hard thing in life, and that's going to be, and really everybody, we all deal with that, right? But I'm called to the people who want to overcome adversity, persevere, right, ignite and unleash their power so that they can walk in their passion, in their purpose, because of what they went through before, right? That's who I'm called to. I'm called to that set of people who have been on their knees saying, God, now what do you want me to do? That's who I'm called to. I'm called to those who have gotten to a place to where they no longer know on their own what to do. That's who I'm called to. I'm called to the ones who want to continue to push and move forward and persist until the thing happens. That's who I'm called to. So if someone is not in that, if that's not where you are, if you are not that person, I'm not called to serve you. And I had to get real clear on that, right? And so I'm not bound to the people. I am bound to my Father. He gets the glory in all of this, because guess what? He allowed my story, he allowed your story to be what it is for, guess what? Not even for you, not even for me. It is for the people that he has assigned to us. Again, all of us have a set people. And again, everybody's not supposed to be on stages and writing books and doing but we still have we still have people that are assigned to our story, to our journey, to our cane, right? There are people who are assigned, who are waiting for us to show up, because again, you cannot teach what you've never learned. So if I have not learned, how to, I don't know, how to I can't think of nothing. But if I have not learned a certain thing, I can't teach that, which means I'm not called to serve that person, right? Right? Come on now. Come on. That's right, Shanice. It's not about us. It's not about us, right? And number one, get clear that your assignment is more urgent than what people think. Because again, remember that most people who are saying this and that can't do it, will not do it, have not been called to do it, right? So therefore, they have all these things to say about something they've never done. That's like a person telling you how to have a baby, but they've never even been pregnant. I'm gonna leave that right there. Enough on that, right? Number 2, it takes courage. It takes courage to operate in being authentic, because when you get clear that you are not in bondage to people, that means that you are operating in pure authenticity, and you are operating in pure and utter transparency. Come on, I'm going to slap it with you. Right? It means that it takes courage. It takes courage for you to do what you're doing, especially when people are saying, go sit down. Oh, you still doing that? Oh, she thinks she out there because she posting, pictures and videos, and she's doing this person and that person. And yeah, God thinks I'm all that, so of course I think I'm all that too. If God thinks I'm all that, aren't I supposed to think I'm all that humbly? Absolutely. Absolutely. It takes courage to stand up and be who God created you to be. That's courage. It takes courage. It takes, the word tells us to be bold for Him, right? I know there are many people, when they see my live pop up, they probably say, she can really talk about God again. Yes. Yes. I am. Absolutely. How can I not? After what I've been through, how can I not? After what some of you have been through, how can you not? Stand up and be brave and be authentic, right? And operate in transparency, right? Because guess what? Being transparent and authentic requires you to really meet you. I need some tea in my cup, y'all. I don't even have no more tea in here. My tea gone. That's a whole little thing right there. Being courageous and transparent requires you to meet you. And a lot of people don't want to meet them. A lot of people look in the mirror, they don't want to meet them. See, I like me. I love me. Right? 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 And that's why, it's a dog in here, y'all. That's why I go by my whole full name, Kimberly Nicole Johnson, because when my husband transitioned, right? When my husband transitioned, that's who emerged. Kimberly Nicole Johnson. Before it was Kim. I knew Kim. But right now, I am Kimberly Nicole. So I like me. I love me, right? And I have no problem with meeting me. So number two, you have to be courageous enough to operate in your full authenticity, being transparent and ready to meet you. Come on. You know, Shanice, you a full-on entrepreneur. I know you are a woman of God. You know it takes courage. It takes courage. It takes faith. It takes courage. And it takes transparency and being authentic to operate in the fullness of who we are. And a lot of people run from themselves. Therefore, it makes it hard for them to understand how you can stand up and be who you are. Right, how you can stand up and walk with this grace, this anointing on you, right. The word says that He will give us a peace beyond even our understanding. I know there are people who are looking at me and say, "How is she? How?" It's been 3 years and I still miss my husband. I still miss my daddy. Absolutely. It takes courage for me to get up out of the bed every day, because guess what? Going to my this is what my fourth point, but it's not about me, right? It's not about me. Number three, I'm going to get on here. I'm going to get off real quick. Get off. Number three, you have to understand that His will alters your blueprint, right? And it requires us to flow in His blueprint, right? So number three, His will alters what we want. What I'm doing now, I'll change what I wanted. What I'm doing now, change the plans that I had for me. This was not in my blueprint. What I'm doing now was not in my blueprint, in the blueprint that I had for me. This writing a book, now teaching others, coaching others, mentoring others, right? That was not a part of my blueprint, because my blueprint included my husband Devin being in the blueprint. He's not here. He's not here. So when we are operating in for Him, His will change. It's going to change our blueprint, the blueprint that we have. But we will then pick up His blueprint. We will then follow and flow in His blueprint. And ask yourself, do you want your blueprint or do you want His blueprint? I want His, because His is always greater. It's always been, even though we don't even understand it. Even though we don't understand it. Because there are many days I wake up, God, I don't understand. I don't understand. But I trust You enough to know that You do. Right? And my last point, y'all, I'm going to let y'all go. My point number 4. None of this is about you. It's all for God's glory. None of this is about us. When you get very clear on not being in bondage to people, when you get, number one, understanding that it takes courage to operate in this not being bondage to people, right? In your passion, your assignment. Number three, understanding that when you want what God has, it's going to alter the plans that you had, right? It's going to change that. It's going to be some erasing, right? It's going to be some modification. It's going to be some amendment, right? Going on in your blueprint. And then finally, once you understand this is not about you, right? Because here's the thing, when it's your will, when it's what you want, it's about you. But when it's his will and what he wants, it's about him. He gets the glory. And we continue. It doesn't matter who likes it or not. Are you pleasing him or them? Right? I want you guys to walk away with these. Hopefully you guys wrote these 4 things down, because I just dropped some gems on y'all. But I just dropped on y'all, I get some of this stuff in my paid coaching classes. Okay? I just gave y'all 4 little gems to understanding, to asking yourself, am I pleasing them or him? Right? That's what you want to ask yourself today. When you sit and think about where you are, what you're doing, how you're moving, is it for the people? Or are you doing stuff so people could be like, or is it for him? So many people out here are doing stuff, buying stuff so people can say, oh, she killing them out here with this. She got this. Is it for their glory or for God's glory? That's the bottom line. It's very simple. Who's getting the glory? It's very, very simple. So, with that being said, I want you guys to, I also left a link in this broadcast, how to move forward after experiencing some of life's most hardest moments, because whether you have yet or not, you will. You may say, well, I'm good. The word tells us that we will have trials and tribulations in this life. In this life. But it also tells us that all things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to his purpose, which means his will. Now, it don't say it works together for good who don't love him. It says it works together for good for those who love him, and that he's called for his purpose. It's going to be all right. So I want to just encourage somebody. Don't be afraid to operate for him. Don't be afraid to release the chains, break every chain, to allow God to break every chain. Because if I was in bondage to people, I wouldn't get on here every week and give a live. I know many people probably like, that's not my business. And frankly, I don't care. I want to serve the ones who want it. I want to serve the ones that God has called me to serve. If I'm not for you, that's okay. Bye-bye. It's all good. It's all good. No problem. Right? So, I love you guys with the love of Jesus. Right? If y'all have any questions that you don't want to pop on live and say, just shoot me a DM, a messenger. I do respond. I also have a private Facebook group that's a paid membership. And right now we are doing a series called The Bounce Back Method. And we've all have been in a place where we've been hit, knocked down, but how are we going to bounce back, right? And we are going over why we have to bounce back, who the bounce back is for, right? What the bounce back looks like. So if you want to be a part of our private paid community, you can send me a DM and I can, tell you more about what that looks like and how that looks, right? In that. So I've given you guys 2 calls to action. One is to click the link to download your very free guide. It's a free guide. If you like, Kim, I just want something free right now. Download your free guide. You will be added to my email list. Yes, you will. And secondly, if you want more than just the free guide and you want to be a part of now watch this. You may feel like everybody got groups. Everybody in the group. This group, I have people on my wait list that I have not even allowed in the group yet, because that's how intimate it is. We have weekly group sessions via Zoom. So that's why it's not, anybody can't get in this thing, right? It's not for everybody. So if you want to be a part of that, send me a message and I'll tell you about how to get in that if you're ready, right? Because again, we cannot heal what we hide. right? So I pray that this message encouraged somebody today. I pray that this message, if someone was sitting in, I want to move, God, but I'm scared of what the people going to say, prayerfully this released you. You've been released. Some chains have been broken, and you can now begin to move forward and operate in what you know your Father created when He made you, right? Created you to be and do it for Him, with courage, and understanding it's not about you. I love you all. I thank you for taking a moment to spend a little time with me. Again, I love you guys with the love of Jesus. Because sometimes we can't love on our own, y'all. Right? Much love, y'all. Have an amazing, amazing day.